Thanks to a grant and reassigned time this summer, we were able to reinvent the HUN2202 Essentials of Nutrition with Diet Therapy course. In this video, we would like to share the results of what we accomplished over the entire summer term. Before we get started, we want to thank the administrators who allowed us the reassigned time this summer and the foundation for the mini grant. The money and time allowed us to create an amazing learning environment for our students. We hope this can be an example for future faculty to do the same. We also want to thank the great work from our part-time faculty, Ileana Troutwine and Cheryl Cavalieri, for their expertise and editing skills. The primary goal of our endeavor was to replace our textbook with OER materials, so our students would not have to purchase a text. We wanted it to be learning-centered, engaging, and provide students with study skills along with the content. As we evaluated the material available, we realized that piecing together content from various sites would not be advantageous to our students. In the end, we decided to write our own material and take advantage of the soft chalk license that Valencia has for faculty. The Foundation mini grant allowed us to purchase graphics for our content and pay part-time faculty to edit the materials. The largest part of our project was creating the reading lessons. Utilizing soft chalk allowed us to make the text materials interactive so students could practice what they read with formative lessons. We incorporated multiple forms of media with graphics and videos. Some of the videos we created and others are from YouTube. Each lesson is similar to a chapter in a textbook. The reading lesson is assigned in Canvas, and points for it are linked directly into the Canvas gradebook. We incorporated learning outcomes for each lesson on the splash page. Within each lesson, we repeated the learning outcomes that are discussed on each individual page. We also created a video that is part of our Student Success module explaining how students use these learning outcomes as they read. But I will tell you more about that later in the video. Once again, we were able to incorporate high-end graphics that were purchased through the Foundation grant. We incorporated various types of games and questions to engage students, although I would have to say the card sorting is our favorite. Here we have a question set that helps students apply what they just read. We took advantage of the soft chalk technology, such as the accordion script, to condense information so that students could navigate more easily through the large amounts of information. The great part about soft chalk is that it follows universal design and is ADA compliant. The games and questions are also mobile friendly. This was a formidable challenge with 23 different lessons, but this is very similar to what our previous texts had. What we enjoyed the most about this project was having the ability to make it our own. We were able to create special topics that are easily changed out from term to term. Because all the soft chalk lessons are on the cloud, when we make a change to them, it updates for every single instructor using them. When we finished the text, it didn't end there. We wanted our entire class to align from course outcomes to content to assessments. As such, we reevaluated all the course and unit learning outcomes, created new assignments, incorporating some of the best assignments we had before, and rewrote the summative exam banks. We started the process in OneNote and found it to be an iterative process, going back and forth between learning outcomes and content, the assignments, and then the summative exams. In the end, we created a course with outcomes at the forefront. As you can see, each of our exam sets has 1 to 2 learning outcomes assigned for each one of the questions. And our soft chalk lessons have these, as we viewed before. Once the content was complete, we put it all into Canvas, starting with the learning outcomes. This was an essential step for us, so we could link the learning outcomes to our text banks and assignments. Each of our 4 exams is set up with question sets that include 5 or more questions based on the learning outcomes that are identified. We wrote over 250 questions per exam. Next came the orientation module. To be honest, we had a great orientation module to begin with because the course had previously been through the ROC course peer review, so we just updated it a little. One of the biggest additions was the student success module. Like all faculty, our students often struggle with time management, note-taking, metacognition. This module helps students learn key strategies to help them with their studies. In this video, we introduce one of our new endeavors, which is Metacognitive Notes. The video explains how students can use these notes to consider the learning outcomes, then directs them how to proceed with taking notes as they read each lesson. We included these metacognitive notes for each lesson within the modules. The modules are set up with the overview for the unit, then the metacognitive notes in the preparation section, followed by the reading and practice with the soft chalk lessons, and then the assignments. Additionally, we included the references used for the content, and of course, we used the most current evidence-based information. Let's take a look at an example of the metacognitive notes we created for students to use. It starts with the learning outcomes that they read through. The way these are used is that students begin by reading the learning outcomes, and they think about what they already know, how they feel about it, what connections they have made, and the questions that they have come up with about the learning outcomes. Then they move to the next page and take notes as they read the soft chalk lessons. The assignments in each module include discussions and assignments. We gave faculty options of discussions to choose from that all align with the learning outcomes. The assignments are aligned with the unit outcomes and include the purpose along with the directions. Most of the assignments include a video with an article and questions that apply to the article and video. And some of our assignments are mini case studies to evaluate nutrition problems. Another primary objective was to be inclusive. We intentionally focused on diverse representation in our graphics and choice of foods throughout the material and questions. One of the hardest parts of nutrition is that not everyone knows the different cultural foods, so we included a new cultural foods section in our content. We also use graphics with food labels on exams to ensure that whether a student is familiar with the food or not, they still understand the visual and nutrition context of the question. And we included information about hidden biases, especially regarding working with obese clients in healthcare. Another important part of inclusion is getting students to work together. We know students are more likely to persist in their education when they feel a part of their courses in the college. So we created a group project with case studies. There are 5 different topics that students can choose from and sign up for. We did face one dilemma with our famous diet analysis projects. This is something that every nutrition class does. Students write down everything they eat and drink for 3 days, input it into software, and analyze the results. However, with no textbook company, we no longer had software for this. As we thought about the project, we realized that students today already know how to use apps to input their food intakes. That's very common nowadays. So we decided that was not a necessary part of the project anymore. Instead, we created fictitious nutrition reports based on fad diets. We created multiple options so that students can choose which fad diet to analyze for the diet analysis assignment. Finally, to accommodate the many part-time faculty who teach with this course shell, we created a checklist for them to use at the beginning of the term. While this was an overwhelming project, it was completely worth it. We are extremely proud of the course. We are very thankful to the part-time faculty, Cheryl Cavalieri and Ileana Troutwine, for their expertise, to the foundation for the grant, and the administrators who gave us the time we needed to accomplish it. This was well worth the time and money, and we hope this project will be a model that allows other faculty to do something similar in the future. Thank you.